Okay, I'm going to get into just a little bit. I condensed my operational slides from last year down to just a couple slides because we wanted to give Philip as much time as he wanted. So my first slide here, just so everybody knows that has not been on here before, I have a military background, so I'm comfortable in talking in some of those terms. So forgive me if I throw out some acronyms. But we do like to use a standard operating procedure or an SOP with inside the board to kind of quantify and measure milestones and goals to make certain we're doing what we should be doing to progress and move the society forward. So last year, at the beginning of the year, we come up with these 4 milestones. And I'm pleased to announce that, look, we achieved every one of the milestones for last year's version 2 of the standard operating procedure. And you can read them right there. I don't have to read them off for you. DNA testing group, we just have that. We had the outcome of the results. Plan for participation in the Grandfather Mountain game. We had the tour, which had been pushed off for 2 years, I believe. And we increased active members above and beyond 200. So just very, very thankful that we're getting the word out there. As we can see, our first Zoom meetings were a couple participants, and we got up to 31 login participants on this meeting alone. So the society is active, it is working and moving well. So here's some of the meat and potatoes, some statistical data, just a quad chart. As you're looking at the screen, the upper left, the blue line is starting off January of last year of 2022, and then the end result is December. So we've increased the treasury through memberships and sales of merchandise and donations by up 58%. So thank you to all the members for contributing and supporting the society. The right-hand corner of the top quad is just the Facebook digital footprint, and we're 2,018 followers. Now keep in mind, this is the end of December. So we're up 76% from last year, which is incredible. The bottom left, once again, social media. We're using Instagram in this variant. And they also they did this last year. They almost married the same percentage. So we're getting, if somebody goes on one, it's almost like they're immediately going to the other one and following us on both social media platforms. And that number's up to over 711 to be exact. The last quad chart here for the digital footprint is YouTube. And I know the president has been pushing this greatly to get us over the 100 subscribers so that we actually have a dedicated YouTube channel. And within 1 year, we've done that. We're up to 111 subscribers that actively follow the videos that are posted on the YouTube channel itself. So as I was talking in the previous slide about SOPs, the society had set some general goals of increasing the treasury and the digital presence by about 25%. I'm pleased to inform the president and all board members that we've obviously surpassed those goals greatly, and that the state of the society is very well, and we are postured for a very successful 2023. And we're just looking forward to increasing and gathering and sharing of knowledge of anything associated with Forbes. And I'm so very glad to be a part of it, and so very glad to be here with all of you. Pending any questions from the president or VPs or any member, that concludes my portion of this briefing. Okay, then we will go to Natalie, who's covering for Leslie. Take it away.
Thank you, Jim. Leslie does apologize for not being here. We did play around with her doing a short video to say her apologies, but that did not happen. I cannot cover the shoes that she's in. She has a huge job as VP of Conveners. And as you can see by this slide, there are currently 9 conveners in the Clan Forbes Society. based in New England, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Colorado, Texas, and California. So in 2022, there were 86 clan or Highland games held. 3 were canceled, which was still COVID related, unbelievably. And we had representation for Clan Forbes at 16 of those. And you can see the some of the convener tents in this photo. And then in 2023, there's still 86 scheduled. 1 has already been canceled. And we are looking at representation of 22. Convening is something that you basically set up a tent. You have some knowledge of Clan Forbes. You invite people in. It's one of the first places that we go to introduce people to the Clan Forbes Society and try to draw membership. We've got some photos here of some of the Highland games. These are the 2022 games that Clan Forbes attended. We were in Florida. We have a great convener down in Florida. Maine is where our convener Leslie is in, Maine and New Hampshire. I handled Colorado for the first time and actually won the best new clan tent. And I had a nice little award that I carry with me now. California, North Carolina, we made it to Grandfather Mountain, Georgia, Virginia, 2 in California, Texas, we had 2, which Bart is actually one of our conveners, and South Carolina. So if it's something that you think you'd be interested in doing, we set you up with a convener's kit. We've got a little packet of information of what needs to be put together for convening. And we're always looking for other members of the Clan Forbes Society who want to get out there and be a point of contact at these games. Obviously, you'll meet a ton of people. What I'll tell you, that was my first time doing it. You meet a ton of people. It is a society of its own. If you're a bicyclist or a motorcyclist or anything like that, you go places and there's a family feeling in these groups. And as a convener, when you show up at these games and you convene for your clan, you will find that everybody is family. Everybody's Scottish. Everybody wants to help you. Leslie has said many times, there's not one time that she has shown up by herself with all of her stuff and not had 2 or 3 people come help her put everything together. So don't think that if you're just one person, you can't do it. We can help you with that. We have quarterly meetings for conveners. And I believe our next one is going to be March or April, and Leslie will be sending out information. But if you're interested in doing that, if you have any interest in that, please reach out to Leslie. You can reach out to myself as well. I can help you put in touch with her, but you can find her on our website. And you could obviously shoot Jim or Bart an email as well, and we can get you set up. So we're very proud of what we did in 2022, but we're looking to a huge 2023 for Clan Forbes Society. You got to unmute, Bart.
Yeah, I just want to mention briefly the passing of one of our most amazing conveners. Rick Forbes of Texas passed away last year, and it was a very sad event. But Tony and I both went to his memorial service, and his family couldn't have been more welcoming, and they're enthusiastic. And in fact, his niece is now carrying on the torch for Northern Texas, Stephanie Perez. I was just checking to see if she's on. I don't think I saw her, but it really does feel like family. And it was a sad occasion, but I was enveloped by the warmth of the family, and they will continue. So I just want to mention that Rick Forbes has done an amazing job. He's part of the family. It's a severe loss to all of us, but they are carrying on. And I just want to thank Stephanie and the family for being a part of our larger family. That's it.
Okay, we'll go back to the slideshow, please. And Natalie,
Okay, so this was my first year as VP, and I was made VP of membership this year. And as you can see, I tried to get a little bit of data. Jim asked me for some data. And my first year doing this, I came up with some pretty interesting data. So in 2019, when this society was basically rebirthed, we had 152 members. 57 of them came over from the old society, which I at one point was a part of. So we call those the legacy people. And then we had 4 patron members. And then you can see the membership, the new members are the little blue chart on here. So we had 56 new in both 2020 and 2021, with how many renewals. We still got about half of our renewals from our original 2019. 2022, I know Bart was handling a lot of, he was membership, he was treasurer, he was president, he was handling a lot of stuff. So it was great, I'm sure, to be able to pass that off. And I was still in the learning process last year. So we had 96 new members last year with 128 renewals. We have had some deaths, which is where we lose some of our members, obviously. For the, I wanted to show you, even though this is 2022 achievements, I wanted to show you where we were as of February. At the beginning, we had 18 new members and 45 renewals already. So we're, well over a third of the way of renewals. So I'm happy as membership chair to see this, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm reaching out to people. I know that we've got a fantastic man in president role who is posting the most amazing things on Instagram, on our YouTube channel, and is definitely drawing people in on Facebook. And we want everybody here to be a part and feel a family and feel that connection. So if you want to go ahead to that next slide, I'll show you. This was just kind of fun. I noticed that we had some new members today that I had processed this week, which one of them was Alden, who already spoke up, and Jim Kerner spoke up, and I believe Heather spoke up. And then we've got Alistair, who's I believe in Scotland, who also is on this call. You'll see I will get your names confused, and this is why. Currently, our Clan Forbes Society members with Forbes or a variant of Forbes or a sept name, we have 79% are Forbes members who actually have the last name Forbes. We have a lot of Forbes. So I apologize if I send you a wrong certificate upon renewal. But it was just kind of interesting. I know at one of the, at the meeting up in Longs Peak, I met a Middleton who joined. I met a Lumsden. I met 3 couples who were Gordon Forbes married, a Forbes married a Gordon. So we still have that Gordon Forbes kind of the running history of the feud between the 2 clans. And I'm just so thrilled to see so many members here. I know, like I say, it's been an honor for me to be a part of this. And I definitely am here to answer questions. I might not get back to you immediately. I try to, but I do have a full-time job. So this is my volunteer. This is my fun place. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of you who are here today and all of those who are not in attendance but are watching later. Thank you for being a part of the society, and thank you for letting me be on the board.
And yes, I'm thrilled.
Yes, thank you, Natalie, for everything covering down for Leslie, and then also your own portion on detail on the membership side. Very good slides. Appreciate the intel in the information. Members, we're going to turn it back over to the Clan Society President, Bart, for his 2022 some accomplishments of the society. Then I'll look forward to 2023, and then we'll close out, and then we'll go watch some football.
That sounds like a plan, Jim. So I'm going to give you a few highlights of this past year. You've seen a little bit already, but obviously one of the big things, as I'm concerned, is, of course, the DNA report completion and publication. Hopefully you saw that it was published, a 2-page spread in History Scotland. And that's given us a lot of visibility, and more people are coming in because of that. And I do want to emphasize once again, if you haven't done your DNA, go to the DNA page on Clan Forbes website. It's clan-forbes.org/DNA. And there's information about how you can get involved directly with Family Tree DNA or upload your results from whatever service you use. And again, I want to mention that I don't want to see finances being a stumbling block. We have a fund that we contribute to on Family Tree DNA. We will cover it if you can't afford it. And contact me or Philip, and we can help you with that, because we do want to get a complete look at the DNA of all of our members as much as possible. So again, take a look at that. Another major tour, you've heard this before, for the first time in 30 years, it's been since 1990, I think Ron Pearson's on, and he went to either the 1990 or the one earlier. We had an amazing Clan Forbes tour. This tour was scheduled 3 times, and we finally made it to Castle Forbes, and we had an amazing whirlwind trip over the course of a week, which ended up at the Lanark Highland Games. And I tell you, Lord and Lady Forbes could not be more gracious and welcoming. You can see Malcolm way in the back there. He said, no, we wanted to give him the front. He said, no, you all come in front. I'll be in the back. So he's in the back there. But what's so wonderful was that at the Lanark Highland Games, he and his whole family sat with us. His heir, Geordie Forbes, was there with us. His sister. It was just a real sense of family. And this is what I try to relay to all of you from the top down, from our clan chief. He is welcoming. His family is welcoming. He even had words to say at Rick Forbes's funeral, which I shared with his family, and they were really touched. So the sense of family begins at the top and continues through all of us. And that's why I'm very grateful for all of your participation. As was mentioned, we've had a whole lot of information that we've been putting out on the website. This last year, we put out 22 website heritage posts, and we continue to do that. I would love to share the burden with some of you. If you want to conduct some research, you want to do some writing, I can help you with that. But I love delving into the history of Clan Forbes, and I love sharing that. It has another value as well, because I am updating and rewriting the book called House of Forbes. And I'm about halfway through. I have about 150 pages completed. A lot of it you'll see on the website itself, so I'm testing it out. I've also been in regular contact with Alex Forbes, who is the Alex Forbes of Drumina Castle, who is the official Clan Forbes historian. And of course, he sent me notes, which I incorporate into some of the posts. So it's an amazing job, and I would love to have some of you help out by doing some research and doing some writing. Let me know. But we've done 22. That's almost 2 posts per month. That's quite a job. The result of which is that we are attracting a lot of members through our website. And this is just some of the posts that have had the most amount of interest. So as you can see in the left-hand corner, it's really tiny print. Some of the most popular posts had to do with our Forbes tartan, generic heritage or genealogy, the House of Forbes that I mentioned. Forbes immigration is really important for a lot of people, especially in the United States, but I do cover the Forbes of Ireland, and I also did an article about Down Under, the Forbes in Australia. The royal bloodline is still of interest, as you saw, if you came out earlier, the poster that Natalie did, and then the legacy, and then the clan maps. So I continue to work on this for Clan Forbes. And unfortunately, people have noticed my work, and so I was just elected for a 3-year term to the board of the Council of Scottish Clans and Associations. And there's my little mug right there. And so I'm part of the national scheme, and I have a great deal of influence. I've just rebuilt their website. I just created a whole Find My Clan online resource, and I'm still working with Casca. But it's really my experience with Clan Forbes that really drives what I do with Casca, because I want them to help us too. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Looking forward to next year, we're working diligently on planning a in-person clan gathering. We are hoping to have that in Boston in October. It's very, very expensive, so we're re-examining our options. So that's still on hold. We found out that the hotel rooms are up in the neighborhood of $300 a night. They're they have a minimum of food and beverage and number of hotel rooms up to $10,000. They required $1 million insurance policy. So we took a step back and we're reevaluating some locations and dates. So we're still dedicated to going forward, but that's not something that we can support. We've also talked to Lord Forbes about some heritage projects. We had one of our members interested in perhaps pursuing that. I think that we as a society should help fund the restoration, particularly of the old Keeg Church. I wrote a blog about that. It's overrun. The local church folks are not interested in maintaining it. It's actually on the land owned by Lord Forbes, and so we can have an easy in and out to restore that. That's where a lot of the Lord Forbeses are buried. Another thing I want to do is update. You've probably seen these things in a lot of the bookstores where you have these official guides to Clan Forbes, where they're horrible. I've read them, and I think we should be doing our own. They don't have the correct information. So that's one of my projects, is use some of the information we've already generated to do our own little brochure and maybe distribute it to some of the people who sell them at the Royal Mile or all the bookstores at the games. I also want to do an update to the Capitol and Mansion houses of House of Forbes. If we have more pictures, more information, that's another thing on the books. One other thing that's of great interest in many of our members is getting a professional genealogist to really examine the connections of the first Forbeses in America. My experience in talking to people is that they know their genealogy from themselves back to their first ancestor in the colonies of the United States. We also have a clear sense of the genealogy through the House of Forbes in Scotland. The problem has been the connection between the first Forbes in America for your family and what line they descend from. And so we're looking at 3 or 4 of the Forbeses who have arrived on our shores in the 1600s and 1700s, and see if we can get a professional genealogist to take a look at making the connections. So we put a bit of money aside in the budget for that. So that's kind of a look to the past, something to look to the forward to, I think. And so that's the state of Clan Forbes for right now. And I do want to encourage you to volunteer. We are all volunteers. All the board members are volunteers. The folks who help out as convening are volunteers. We have some information about how you can help. If you go again to the website, under community, click on volunteer, and here are just some of the things you can do. Hey, you've heard about conveners. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a bit of a hassle to get your tent out there, but once you're there, you have a great time. You still need a bookkeeper or treasurer to help me with the finances. We need more people who can write and put together the newsletter. We need researchers. And of course, anyone is interested in becoming a board member, but I do have to emphasize that we have what I call a functional board member, a functional board of directors. Everybody on the board has a specific function. We do not have at-large members. I've been on those boards. Everyone has an opinion, but no one's willing to do the work. So I want to keep it very focused. We're very fortunate to have Leslie, Natalie, and Jim on the board because they do a lot of work on your behalf. Many times you just don't see it, but believe me, they are at work behind the scenes. And we would love to welcome more people who have a passion for being a part of this family. So take a look. Let me know if you want to be part of this and what you would like to do. So, Jim, that's my look back, look forward. I'd be happy to take questions for anybody or concerns for the future.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bart. We appreciate it greatly. And once again, everything that you do, you're the glue that holds us all together. and we thoroughly do appreciate your
First
direction, your guidance moving us forward.
meeting. I didn't know it could have meeting.
Okay, we'll open it up now for any questions for any one of the board members, any concerns or general comments. If you're have your camera turned off, it is a little difficult for me to try to see if you got something to say here, but I'm scouring, looking around. Bob Forbes, I think you raised your hand. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Just a couple for Bart. One on how do we, and I've not been to the website lately, so I'm pleading ignorance there, but how do we volunteer to be part of the Forbes to America one?
Email me. I keep
Okay.
organized through email. I do a lot of stuff, so that's how I keep track of all my projects. Just email me, president@plan-forbes.org.
Last question. You think there'll be any effort for a trip to Scotland in August time period this year?
Not this year.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Janet for 2024. The
Okay.
plan is to do alternating years. Do even years, do a trip to Scotland, odd years, do an in-person somewhere in the United States or Canada, if we can find a place to go there. But it's a whole lot of work for just a few people. So I've
Makes
talked to
sense.
Janet. We got some, we did a survey of the folks who went on the trip this last August. We got some great feedback. And so we're tweaking that. But we're such a small society. We have current members about 320 or so. Natalie can let me know more. But in the scope of things, we're about the median average number of society members. And so I don't think we can do a Scotland trip every year unless we're sold out every year. Obviously, it was difficult this last year. We couldn't get the damn thing going until after COVID. So definitely 2024, we'll try to do every other year.
Thanks. That's good.
Okay, Miss Cindy, I see your hand raised there, your virtual hand.
Yes, I just want to say I'm a member at large, and I just want to commend our president, our board for doing a fantastic job of support as well as marketing for this Forbes clan. And if you were on the fence and you're watching this, please come and join us. It's a fabulous, fabulous clan. I had the opportunity, my husband and I had the opportunity to go to Scotland this past year with this group, met some lovely people, had a wonderful time. And I just want to say to those people that might be watching this on YouTube at a later date, please check out the website. Please join, come and join us. Get your DNA done if you can, but don't let that keep you from joining us because that's not a requirement. And just thank you to all. Yay, Forbes. Bye.
Okay, wonderful. Any other questions? I'm scouring through the 2 pages here. Any other comments, closing comments, concerns?
Oh.
Okay, no, Bart, I think that concludes today's meeting. From all the members, thank you for what you do. Natalie, thank you for briefing a large portion of the slide deck today. And thank you to all the participants for getting on here today. I see a lot of new faces. I'm very excited about that. And I see some faces I've seen from the tour as well. So nice to see you all. I hope spring is right around the corner and get out there and get this winter behind us. And God bless you all. And we're out from Indiana.
Thank you. Thank you.
And may I close with grace me guide.